So when you talk about organizations that make a difference, our 263rd Army and Air Missile Defense Command, which dates back to 1756, has had continuous overwatch over the skies of our nation's capital since 9/11. So they make a difference along with our South Carolina Air National Guard in protecting the skies of our nation's capital each and every day.
We are all over the planet at this time. You know, the National Guard, the Air National Guard specifically, at one point in time was what we call a strategic reserve. We are constantly rotated in and out of the fight in a bunch of different places.
But we've been all over the place since I've been with this unit. Yeah, name a theater, put your finger on a map, we've probably been there. I'm here because I've known a lot of the pilots that are here for a very long time. I've got that brotherhood. There is 0% chance that I'm going to slack off at my job and let those guys down, because if I do, the chances of them being mission effective or coming home safely is a lot lower. And the great thing about it is I know they feel the same way about it too. They're not gonna let me down. They're not gonna let their crew chief down. We're gonna work hard at it every single time. To get to do this in this unit with these kind of people and to accomplish these kinds of missions, I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world right now.
So that is the Guard that we are today. And we look back at our deployments and we use those as benchmarks to prepare our soldiers and airmen for the next deployment. No deployment's the same as the last. You possibly could be going to a different location, so certainly a different mission, but each deployment has its own individual challenges that come to our soldiers and our airmen. The impacts that it has to the families, the impacts it has to their jobs, to their employers, they're all significant.
The value of employer support cannot be overstated. The same people that we find essential, that strong non-commissioned officer, who really gets down there and makes things happen. Well, he's not only doing that for us, he's doing that for his civilian employer.
My job supported me to the max. I guess maybe because I worked federal and I was there at the hospital, they realized what I contributed to the military. So the times that I was mobilized, or the times that I'm gone 2 or 3 weeks at a time, or okay, I'm here today, but in 3 more days I'm gone, they supported me.
In the aftermath of 9/11, South Carolina National Guard commanders lost soldiers in combat for the first time in a generation.
During my rotation, and we lost 21 people out of the task force of 10,000.
I lost 2 soldiers. I lost Algernon Adams. He was the first South Carolinian to die. He died in Fallujah. And the burden of command is enormous because you've been entrusted with these great Americans. And you know that every decision could cost somebody their life.
General Livingston, I remember the day that we lost our first soldier in combat during our deployment with the 218th. And I remember how impactful that was on him. I mean, it literally brought him to tears to know that he had lost a soldier under his watch.
And I made it my mission when I came back home that I was going to visit each one of those families. Not just write them a letter, not just talk to them on the phone, but I was going to visit them face to face.
Once we found out that Ryan had been killed, we were grief-stricken, of course, and we didn't even know what to expect. You never even let those kinds of things cross your mind. And immediately, the National Guard stepped in. I let them know that I didn't want Ryan to be forgotten. They promised me that we would be part of their family, they would never forget him, and that they would do everything that they could so that his name would be remembered, not only through our lifetime, but on continuously.
When he was elected Adjutant General in 2010, Major General Robert E. Livingston Jr. brought his experience as a combat commander to the job.
General Livingston is a different kind of leader, and his leadership in Afghanistan, in my opinion, was the precursor of him becoming the Adjutant General for South Carolina, because he was community-oriented here, he was community-oriented in Afghanistan.
General Livingston had a strong partner, his wife Barbara, who held their family together through her husband's deployments, just like thousands of other military spouses.
I thought it would be very easy. It was not. I couldn't tell Bob that the time he was gone. Kept that all in, told the kids not to tell him, and it was a struggle, a real struggle. So he gets home and he sees what's happened to the family, and he realized what his service had done, and he knew that if it was affecting our family as strong as we were, it was certainly affecting everybody's family that was being sent.
Because of the number of deployments since 9/11, family and service member care also ramped up under General Spears and Deputy Adjutant General Harry Birchstead.
General Birchstead visited my cubicle one day. I was a lieutenant colonel then. He sat down and he made a profound statement. And I realized it right away because he said, I want to know what we're going to do to take care of service members and their families. So as I started to say something, he said, stop. He said, I don't want to hear anything from you. He said, I want you to ponder it, figure out how we're going to take care of service members and their families for life. General Livingston and his wife, Barbara, already had in their mind that they wanted to see a transformation occur. It eventually became service member and family care.
And it really was a pioneer concept because we have become the national model for service member and family care, particularly in the reserve component capacity for the nation.
General Livingston believed that if the families were cared for, so then would the soldiers be cared for. Because if the soldiers were focused on family and not on his duties, then the soldiers couldn't perform their duties if they're worried about their families. Service member family care has grown to provide job support. They provide behavioral health support. They provide health and wellness support. They provide counseling support. They provide financial support, suicide prevention. They touch all aspects of life that touches the soldier and the airman.